Hi everyone, this is Heidi. You're with Journey Now, and we're going to do a video today. And the video that I want to bring out for you guys is in regards to the topic of chemtrails. And I have with me as my guide that has been really wanting this video out for probably a week already. I have Ashtar, who is one of my Pleiadian guides. Now, Ashtar, if you're not familiar with him, he's actually a very large collective Pleiadian guide. So, I mean, globally, he does come through to quite a few beings and channel his messages through them. And he has come into my life more recently, I would say about 3 weeks now. And I've always had Pleiadian guides. I have a high self that is Pleiadian, and I do often go to the Pleiades. I get to be on the ships, and just a ton of Pleiadian DNA and energies that I carry within my DNA and my blueprinting that allows me to collectively connect to Pleiadian energies and receive the messages. So Ashtar is a very large energetic imprint of Pleiadian energies that is connecting with me with just tons and tons of wisdom and information to share. And so we have Ashtar today, and then we also have my high self, Arya, which is a Pleiadian life or timeline that is existing currently, as well as the me here, Heidi. And so I have a past life on Earth that Arya had stepped into that I can recall. And then I also have a Pleiadian life that is currently existing above 5D. And so when we talk about, star races and the different multidimensional beings and parts of ourselves, this is really what it looks like, is a multifaceted levels of connection to yourself. And so we have Arya, her full name is Ariella, and I just call her Ari lots of times. She's here as well because she's such a large part of me, and together we're going to, the three of us, now they're saying the Holy Trinity, the three of us are going to try to deliver and do justice to this large topic, because it's so important that we understand what is going on in the skies. And this is really representing the times that we're in now with the awakening and the shift and what we see globally happening on the planet as the vibration of Gaia, Terra, Blue Terra, the Golden Globe, whatever you want to refer to your connections with Gaia as, the Earth. She herself is going through a huge frequency shift where she is moving up in dimensions, and with her, she's bringing those of us attuned to come for the ride. And so as this shift is playing out, and I mean, we really can see the play out of it happening all around us when we turn into the news, which we don't like to do, but at the same time, we're here to witness, like to bear witness with our souls to these times. Like, we are a part of this because we chose to come here and experience this. So don't negate all ties to viewing the phenomena that we are in, because this is a rare opportunity to be here as a star seed and a light being and a way shower on the planet. And so we really want to balance and level out the amount of exposure that we feed into news and media and the different platforms that are showcasing the event as it plays out. So fine tuning is what they're saying. Pick and choose and go into the ones that feel good. If you end up somewhere and it's feeling scary, because that is the propaganda, that is what they're showing us, is fear. They're really trying to feed out fear because as the topic of this video, we are in it. Like, we are really in this now. It's playing out. We're coming upon many full disclosure moments. We're going to be given full-blown full disclosures coming up here. I would say within this 2023, 2024, we're going to see some huge full disclosures. Not that we aren't already, right? Like, people are blowing the whistle on so many of the sinister plots. And so, of course, the chemtrails, that fits right there as a sinister plot. So what is going on is chemtrails are very real. They have been spraying them in the skies for quite some time now, but what we're talking about in the video today is the more recent attempts to block out the sun. And that is a major part that is playing out, and why we are seeing all of these disturbed weather patterns. And if you hadn't noticed, or wherever you are geographically on the planet, we are lacking sun, we're lacking clear skies. That's what they're saying. So, I mean, the sun is our living light from Source Creator. It is our field of connection that gives us nurturing, gives us vitality, gives us life. It gives us everything, as well as the codings, the light codes. It is a huge database for us within our conscious awakening. And so just like Earth, like Gaia herself, as she is reaching for new timelines and a new dimensional space to exist, that we can serve out a more evolved human species, a more evolved planetary system of living and expressing of ourself. The dark side, the negative agendas, the sinister beings, those that would wish to keep us dwelling in the dense vibratory field that has oppressed us and created our 3D realities and the 3D matrix, they are fully aware. They know 100% that we are becoming the awakened, that we are becoming this shift and this revolution. Evolution is occurring now. And they know the degree. They know how this sacred evolution is playing into our favor. And they're fighting it, you guys. This is what we talk about, like World War III, these giant wars that are waging on the planet right now. They're informational wars, they're energetic wars. And a big part of the ascension right now happening with Gaia lifting herself up, so too is our sun that gives us the frequency and the vibration and the information and the light codes from the living light, source of all creation, which is God, which is our wonderful reason for everything, the creator of it all. Everything shifts. So when we make an evolutionary shift dimensionally, going into evolution, we don't just do it. Everything gets shifted up because of the new available timelines and the new capacity to hold light and new information that we create when we lift up. So too does it go directly up to Source Creator, allowing all of the creations of Source to have a new capacity for their own raising of consciousness and evolution. And so the sun itself is providing through our eyes that light that comes in through the eyeballs into the pineal gland, which is responsible for consciousness itself. And so what would be the best route and the most viable place for them to attack consciousness? Well, it would be to block out that living library, that living database of conscious energy and frequency that is feeding every one of us and the planet and the ecosystems in every part of this globe. So that is what the chemtrails are all about. And they are physically going with and they are saying drones, like it's not even, and they are piloted as well, but as they are mass producing this attack level right now in order to slow the progression of our sovereign innate right to ascend, they are becoming more aggressive with it. They are becoming more calculated, and their tactics are becoming larger, and they're investing a lot of money into these games to fight their battles. And so one of the biggest steps towards breaking down the alliance of light and the beings that are consciously aware of the uprising is to block out our source of consciousness with the new rays and the new amounts of solar energy that's coming in. It's a new. So we would have an ability, they're saying, to say the old sun, like the one that we all have been exposed to up until these past points, like the past years. We have a new sun with new frequencies available to serve in the new dimension and the new conscious awareness. And so that in particular is what they are blocking out. And so when we go outside nowadays, it's very rare that we will have clear skies. It's very rare that we will have that open capacity to receive the light as we need it. And the reason is the chemtrails, amongst other things, like such a diversion of the solar lights coming in to feed us. There's also the poisons. I mean, there's poisons everywhere now that are feeding into the atmosphere. And even the rain that comes down is quite toxic. And so we really are living in a toxic environment. We always have been, but it's just so much more apparent as they are really laying it on thick. Like that's what they're saying. They are diving right in and they're trying to get to the root of the ascension by disallowing that connection to feed us and to feed our growth and evolution. So we are rare to find the sunny, clear sky days that we all have come to love and adore. And that is why. And so they're also wanting me to bring up in reference to the chemtrails and the toxic environments, the fires, the wildfires. And I live in Saskatchewan, Canada, and we have last year and this year, and I mean, it's really been this ongoing, it's almost like a normalized thing, and that's how they would have it be. That every season now, every time that beautiful sun would come out and we would be born into the seasons of spring and summer and fall, we're getting bizarre weather that is either to one side of the spectrum so hot that it is drought worthy, right? Or there's the floods. There's like not a happy medium because they're trying to flush us out and they're trying to reduce the population because they want to have a population that is there for their mind control and their oppressive behaviors. So they're trying to really get rid of the light beings and the unconscious ones who aren't awake. Well, I mean, that was their choice coming in as well to experience those timelines for further evolution down the line as they inhabit new planets and new 3D realms. But Earth is no longer capable of providing the frequency required for the 3D dense matrix. And so now we have this, this sequence of fires, wildfires, and that is not a natural disaster. And we're having severe weather like tornadoes and hurricanes and all of these things that are really eliminating the population. So it's helping to feed that side of the agenda. But these events are also creating fear, which is feeding more into the dense vibration and keeping that alive. And so the more fear that they can portray on the media that we buy into, because I don't say buy into as though it's not happening, it is happening. But where we continue to focus, they're just showing me the third eye and the heart space, where we continue to focus here with our light. And if we are aware enough to understand the importance of that focus being on the win, like go for the gold, that is where we need to be. So while we can observe, you know, the negative agendas playing out, they want us to do it with detachment and a neutral approach. So I really have been working on this myself, where I will allow myself periodically small doses to view some of the trauma scenarios that they are presenting to us to feed the fear, but I'm available to do it in a neutral zone with no feelings attached other than bearing witness and gathering information. So if we could all play our parts with that, and then when we have the time to sit in joy, to sit in abundance, and to sit into the higher vibrational frequencies that are the new earth, the golden globe, please focus on that reality as often as possible, however that looks for you. And then they're saying create, 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 because the more that we create, the more we resemble our living light, our source creator God, because we were made in the image of the creator. We are responsible for that which we create. So only be creating light is what the Pleiadians are telling us. With love in our hearts. So these wildfires are not natural. They are caused, they are lit by the negative agenda. I mean, they have lasers that are starting these fires, among other different techniques. But don't be fooled into thinking this is Gaia's anger, because there is that being served out, where they are making Gaia responsible. And although Gaia does play her role in the leveling out, you know, as karma, but karma doesn't really exist as much anymore, because we're going into the new earth where karma doesn't reside. And so that was part of the removals. But Gaia has always played a part in the ecosystems and the different layers of removals. But she is not herself responsible for the magnitude of what we're seeing now, with so many people losing their lives to these environmental setups. Really understand when you're watching and thinking and viewing these disclosures about the true culprits here, because that is going to retain truth and wisdom within yourself. That recognition alone serves the higher agendas of the light and helps us to get there faster. And it also helps us to destroy more of those lower and dense layers and the paradigms and the structures that we are trying to remove that have kept us in oppression, you know, like the 15-minute cities that we're all talking about, the government influence that is, you know, COVID and the vaccines and all of that. Like, I don't even want to talk about it. They're just like, we don't even need to bring mention to the physical human wording of it. We know what's going on. And so now we must understand and be wise and be educated, because the educational system that we have been given and have been using is no longer valid. We need a higher educational system, and that is what people like myself and channels like this one are really here for, is to provide a new educational route, an alternative route to the education of light. And so we're just bringing the video in today to really represent the truth of the sky and what's going on, because all those wildfires, think about the toxic smoke and the devastation and all of that loss and all of that death and all of that fear, and they're just showing it in the waves of smoke. Think of that going up too, and it sits like a haze, like this floating haze that is actually creating a layer that is blocking out all of these beautiful high frequency gamma rays and solar flares and the higher information that is streaming in from the sun and streaming in from source, as well as streaming in from, because this is where it's interesting, the multiple fleets of starships that are working in our favor, that are here to assist. And so they're blocking out not only the sun, they're blocking out our ability to see the ships that are here to help and aid us, that have always been helping, but that are here right now, continuing to fight that war alongside us and with us. They're blocking those out from our own recognition, that we cannot see what's playing out above us. So there's so many reasons for this blocking out in the sky. So when you're going out, now and in the present future, like now as we're moving outside to enjoy the nicer weathers, just have that conscious awareness with you and of understanding what is going on in the sky above you, and really take the time, because I'm looking out my windows now and I can see them everywhere. And there's rarely a day where I go out where I don't hear planes flying by. And it kind of puts a damper on the day when you know what we're talking about here, but that is what they're here to say, is do not allow that to block that loving connection to being outdoors. Please, just with your awareness, allow yourself to step above that veil of oppression and continue to work with the light. And so that is what we just want to come in and say. And then they also want to make mention to the dragon, because the dragons really do play a huge role in helping us to clean up the chemtrails and the atmosphere. We're going to do a small activation to really serve the light and the higher beings that are working with us now, and also to the dragons for their ability to always be there for the human race. Now, I don't know why they're coming in so strong, like, because they have always served us, and so often they have been squashed and labeled and shut down by humans that it's almost a wonder why they bother to help us. But no, that's not true. That's just the 3D Heidi. They're here to help us because they know our true potential and our true value. And so we honor the dragon as well within this activation. So I have my beautiful pillar. This is selenite, and I'm going to use it to anchor a connection from source through to the many dimensions, coming down through to our sun, coming straight to Gaia and into the hearts of us, into our third eye and into our pineal gland. And this is going to help us to remove those toxic attachments that have been placed there purposely, allowing us to attune to the frequencies they're trying to block out, allowing us to receive that information, that we can share it regardless of what they're doing out there. Like, never mind them. They have no power. They have no control over us, who are truly on a mission to uprise and to bring about this new revolution of human living, of life life on Gaia, of life as a human. So we have my selenite tower, we have my clear quartz ball, which we're going to activate with, and then we have brought in this large white feather to represent air for the skies and to represent peace, you know, the dove and freedom. And so this is what we're going to carry through with our activation. This activation is coming from the Pleiadians, Ariana Kukurianya, Onyasanyanya Makuorianya, Anyayanya Makaya, Masukukurianya, Nakamanaya Napasukurianya, Samakada Arianya. So they're just opening up all of the center points and the vortexes within us that connect us to our higher selves, our higher beings that we can retain, bring in and hold the light, hold this information and present it down. They're just showing socially, keep it moving down the line, so that more and more of us become wise, more and more of us become open to the energies, and that we become capable of nurturing ourselves throughout this great ascension. Brianya makaturianya manaarianya sukuria anamayana nonokorianya manahariana Urianya mana arianya suku urianya mataturian turianya manayana suku turianya manana kuriam. And so they're doing some work on the pineal gland, and they're really going to help us to decalcify and unblock those areas. Along with Gaia, we are helping her as well to really vibrate and oscillate out all of that dense field of negativity, of negative emotions, and of the oppression that has been us for so long. Udurian yasinya mania nandatukurian yamana sanuria manianya narian taku takutukurianya. Oh, and Ashtar, he's so beautiful. If you guys connect with him yourselves, isn't he just gorgeous? And connection to the ships, connection to the star fleets as we give them our gratitude and appreciation for what they do. Like, holy man, do they do for us? And they say as we do for them, of course. Of course, we know that within our hearts. And this is the dragon energies coming in now to support the dragons and the work they do. Maria papakaya and then just bringing that light in all through our entire chakra systems, pulling that down through the veil, through that haze, and through the chemtrails, because we can. That's why, because we can. Bringing it through, because there will never be a true way to suppress the light. If that is what the intention is, the light will always come through. There is no amount or depth to the darkness that cannot be integrated, interrupted, and dispelled by true light and true love of the Creator. Brasina kini pakaturianya sapakatarianya vrarianya sakurianya And we're just cleaning up the atmosphere, guys. Cleaning it up, making some room, making the tiny little channels through there that the light can shoot through the chemtrails and the smoke and the poison. And I mean, they don't like it when we do this, but that's just tough, because I don't care. Because we are the light, and we have one. All right, guys, that about does it. So feel free to play this activation when you go outside today and feed it to the atmosphere, feed it to Gaia, and feed it to all of the kindred souls who are out here doing their very best during these times of war, during these times of the great solar flare. And it feels so much lighter already. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here with me today, and I look forward to the next one. Bye-bye.